I'm really drained today. Um, just with the combination of the things that I've been learning about the community and, strangely enough, the things that have been happening lately with the drama that's going on. I don't know if it's just because um, I think that it's weird that I kind of got into this right at this time. And maybe this drama plays out all the time. I'm not sure. But for some reason, and I don't like to think that way because I think it's it makes me feel like my thoughts are pathological, because I feel for some reason in this moment in time that I would like to help the community come together, and I think that I have some value to bring, but then I go to myself, well, who am I? I'm nobody. And um, and then I kind of feel like that goes against the way I'm thinking, but then again, I don't know if what I'm thinking is right. So I guess that I'll just be here and I'll just talk to people and just see what I can do to help, if anything, without trying to inject myself into the circumstances too much or get too involved or identify with it too much. But, you know, in my life, I always like to have purpose, and I feel like I have really good skills in regards to bringing people together. I've been told that um, I'm very good at seeing both sides of the coin in a lot of situations, and I'm good at finding a middle ground. Um, for election day, and I'm not Republican, but I'm trying to network in my community for my business. And that's the group that probably most aligns, the largest group that most aligns with the way that I feel, because I've talked to some people in the party, and they're aware of the corruption, they're aware of the flaws with voting, they're aware with a lot of things that are going on with division and technology and these big global conglomerates. I mean, they know, and even people on the other side of the spectrum know. But the other day, in exchange for a favor, I was handing out just a list of the local candidates. So that's, like city council, things like that. Nothing grand, because it's this I don't want to say the word, but this political event isn't for the commander in chief, so it's pretty small. And I met this kid, um, an adult, but still a kid, and he was handing out the same thing I was handing out, but for the other side. And we talked, and we had a lot in common, and he told me about the things he wants to do after college, and a very smart kid, a little odd, but very, very smart and very, very nice. And I would try to hand out, my things, because I wanted to pass them out so I could go home, because it was really cold. And people would get all mad, when I said it was for the party with the elephant. And so I called the kid over. I said, hey, let's double team them so they can pick which one they want. And then we were saying, you can get one or the other. You can keep it or you can burn it, and most people would laugh. They'd walk up all mad, and then they'd walk away laughing, because it's, it's that division. And, this kid and I, even though we were handing out the opposite things, we still were laughing about it, and we got other people to laugh about it. And I don't know if it's prideful to say, but I think I have a really good knack for that, for helping people see that there's not really differences. It's just, in the world today, it's just the people versus their controllers. And they try to convince us to be against each other, and there's deception and all of these things. But yeah, I think it's probably very stupid to say. It's very arrogant to say. But for whatever reason, probably because I've got a screw loose, but I don't think I do. I might, but I don't think I do. I feel like I'm here at this moment in time for a reason, and I want to do good. And it's a little stressful, just because when I do something or I'm thinking about something that I think is really important, I kind of let it take over my mind a little bit too much. So, like today I decided I slept in because I have the day off and I'm doing some chores. I'm going to go shopping, get some healthy stuff to eat and relax. But yeah, I've got a little bit of that neurotic, artistic mind, I guess you could say. I'm not an artist, but where you just get very enveloped in things. And things that I'm really passionate about are like social things, and I like to have things happen in the world for the better. I like to get rid of lines. I like people to understand that they have a lot in common. And I just feel, I've been feeling a shift in the world and how things are going for a long time, but for the first time in a very long time, I actually feel pretty hopeful. I feel like I have purpose. And then I think, who the hell am I? Nobody. And it kind of makes me feel a little bit small. But then that driving force in me makes me want to continue talking to people and making videos. So with this internet drama that's going on between people right now, I really don't like it. I will honestly say that I didn't watch the video because I'm just not interested. I think it's stupid. I think that it makes people feel like they're on a football team. And honestly, when people behave this way, I'm not interested in either of them. I know that emotions run high because for whatever reason, my emotions are running high too. But that's why I think people just need to put away all the BS and be real about, with what's going on, because these petty things don't matter. These people are mad because they're being disavowed. And you know what? You can disavow me too. I'm used to it. I don't care. If you want to say that I'm, pretending to be someone I'm not and I shouldn't be here and this and that, go ahead and say it. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to do my thing and I'm going to try to be nice to people and, not go over the top on things. And if you don't like it, that's fine, because I think when you're being truthful, you have nothing to hide. And, I know that I got to be careful what I say on here. People born with one physical anatomy are different than another kind of people born with a physical anatomy. So they react different during conflict, and I know that they get into a peeing contest, and that's just how the people born with one anatomy act, and that's fine. That's a good thing, because it's protected civilizations for centuries. So I can't really say that these people who are quarreling with themselves are wrong, because I think the way they feel and the way they're acting is very sincere and genuine, but I don't think it's helping. And I think pride comes into it, because I think no matter who you are, the more adulation and attention you get, you do become prideful. And I think that's everybody. Like, the times I've been most prideful in my life is when I had a really good friend group, or I was really into a clique of some sort that was really popular, and then I was less empathetic. I was less willing to accept or admit to my own shortcomings. So I get it, and there's no way to tell what's real and what's not. And I think that we're just so frustrated because there is so much deception, and there is so much where the walls are just coming in. And even in your own community, you don't know who to trust. And it is very stressful. So, I don't have an answer. I have something that I'm trying to do on the side, but I don't want to push that too much, because that's not the main reason that I'm talking about what I'm talking about. But aside from what I'm considering, I don't really know what the answer is. I think the reason that people are acting so divisive is just because of their emotions and the fear that they have. And I think it's good just to try to level with each other and to not let your emotions get too out of whack as much as you possibly can, or maybe even disconnect for a while. But whatever it is, I hope that spiritually I could be used as something that would be helpful to the community. I haven't been in the smaller community, the more OG community for super long. I realize now that it's always been around in the comments, but I just never paid attention because I wasn't on that trajectory. But I've been in the larger community for about 2 years, so I mean, I'm not new. And I'm sure everything I think about and stuff's been tried before, and people have been shut down for it or censored or given up, because that's just human nature, because the punches keep coming no matter how civil you promote, you ask people to be, or you try to be yourself. But I just want to say that I think these debate things going on are stupid. I don't know their true intention. I don't know if they're there for division, or if they're organic between parties that are put forth for division. I don't really know. All I know is getting caught up in it is going to be a distraction, just like any kind of paradigm. And you shouldn't put your trust or your faith in any one person. I think you can trust yourself if you're being spiritually guided, I think. So, yeah, I don't want any part of it. I would like to, of course, like anyone else, I'd like to know the truth, but it's very hard because there's some things in life that you will never know the absolute truth because you're too far removed from it, or you're too small. So I don't know if these individuals are genuine or not, and I would really like to know, and it really bothers me that I don't know. It gives me a lot of fear and doubt. Makes me feel a little paranoid, too. I hate having my best instincts used against me, like my desire to understand what's really going on in the world, which is kind of against the grain. And to think that there might be people put into place that purposely lead you astray with your own, waving your own flag, is very scary to me. It makes me kind of sick. But I will say that these people acting this way does not raise my confidence in them one bit. Actually, it makes me not even care whether they're genuine or not, because I wouldn't want to associate with that. I think it's stupid. Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to bring people together and talk about what's really going on, and you're really against the system, then you shouldn't be against each other. It's not about who can stand on the highest peak, around the valley. We're all there together. It doesn't matter where you're standing as long as you're doing something that's helpful. And I think a lot of that comes from that pride that you gain from social adulation, which is fine. It's a psychological thing, and it happens. But that's why movements begin eating themselves. It happens just like this. So I think it's best not to identify with these larger figures, and to identify with each other, and to find common ground, and not to look at what makes us different, especially because these things polarize us. You're like, oh, well, I'm for, this guy, and I'm for this guy, and then you start fighting about it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which guy you're for, because at the end of the day, the fearful thought is neither can be trusted, and even if they can, they're just being stupid. They're being boys in the schoolyard. So, and I don't blame them, but, I just worry about the sincerity. That's the thing that bothers me. I don't like being manipulated. I don't like thinking that I'm being led or deceived, or that my emotions are being flared up, or that the emotions of the community are being flared up for some kind of end. And whatever it is, I think it's just better just to stay away from it and ignore it, because it's just like tabloid. It's not important. If we were talking about a landslide in a foreign country, and the two president, the president and the vice president were fighting, I don't care the vice president and the president are fighting. I want to know what's going on with the landslide. The quarrel doesn't really matter. And even if it's not a distraction that's put forth intentionally, it's still a distraction, and it's stupid. It's wasting energy and emotions on things that do not matter. I don't care if I don't care if it's the president fighting with another president. Unless it's going to affect something tangible that really matters, I don't want to hear about it. So that's all I wanted to say. Like I said, I've got a lot of thoughts and emotions right now, just because of the things that I've kind of learned, and the things that are happening now in light of the things I've learned, which are really highly connected. So I'm just going to keep doing what I feel is right, and I'm just going to let God lead me. And hopefully I don't make a mistake. I'm sure I will, but I'm going to try not to, and I'm going to try to just be myself and just say things, and if anyone wants to listen, they can listen. I'm not claiming to know these people or know what they're thinking or know what they're about or know if they're this or if they're real or if they're not, because I don't know, just like everybody else doesn't know, and I'm irritated and I'm frustrated. And I've made mistakes already, but going forward, I'm going to try not to make an ass of myself, because it's just going to make things worse. I do want to make people aware of the fact that this deception in the community could be a thing, but I think a lot of people already know. And like I said, I never really even was aware of this concept, but now I see it everywhere. So it's strange. It feels like I'm on par. I'm in the flow of the trajectory that things are taking right now. So I'm thankful for that. But I hope that everybody can keep their wits about them and remember that understanding the truth and helping each other is what's most important, and that these public figures, even though we're worried about how genuine they are, they're not dictating any part of the movement that's been around for quite a long time. We are the movement, not them, and we're not reliant upon them as much as we act. You can be a fan and you can consume content and you can really like these figureheads, but you are not dependent on them. You're dependent on each other and your desire to understand what's true and your desire to have humanity flourish and not succumb to tyranny from these elites and their plans for technocracy. So it's good to be empowered and to feel your own spirit and to understand that you're strong and that you're grounded and that you have each other. And no matter what, we will make it through. And don't be deceived or even led astray by organic situations, because you need to keep your eye on what's most important, which is, God and information and helping other people. So that's just how I feel about it. And that's all I got to say.